So we're in chapter 8, and we're doing lesson 8, and this is part 2. So this is surface area of composite figures. I think this is more challenging, in my opinion, than the volume of composite figures, which we just did. Now, you are going to have to find all the area of all the faces of this shape, and then add them up. Seems simple. Sounds simple to me. But there's a lot of places where you can go wrong. It takes a lot of organization, a lot of showing your work and keeping track of your work. All right. So we're talking about this three-dimensional shape, this composite figure over here, and the work is over here on the right. All right. So one method of doing it is drawing out all of the surfaces and then calculating those areas neatly underneath. So it looks like we have this this surface here, which is this guy, right? All along this front part. All right. The nice part is that a lot of times you'll find the area of a complicated face, and then you can just double it so you don't have to figure out that back part. All right. One thing you might want to do to start is just to label all of the faces, or at least count them. Count them up to make sure that you found an area for each of them. So for this one, we're going to go, I'll help you count them. Ready? There's that bottom, right? Underneath, we can't see it. There's this face here, which we can see. There's this bottom here, which we can't see really. There's this guy here. All right. There's the top, which we can see. There's the side, which we can't see, that left side. And then there's the front. There's the front here, and there's the back, which we can't see. All right, so how many surfaces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 surfaces. We have to find the area of all of those surfaces and then add them up for our answer. So by indicating and counting them up, then we can kind of keep a running list. Here's surface 1, surface 2, surface 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have to find 8 answers and then add those up, add all those results up, and we'll get our total surface area. So you have to have some sort of method to keep everything straight, or else you're going to be running into a lot of challenging mistakes where you're just like, what? I don't know what just happened there. Okay, so let's look this over. Okay, we have, so they drew out this front surface. They cut it into 2 surfaces. And then here, it shows them doing the area of that thing all in one. So I lost my pen here. But so this length and width would be indicated here. This length and width would be indicated here. All right, so that's 2 separate area formulas put into this one larger area formula with an addition. So it's adding up the area of the rectangle plus the area of the square. So 8 by 16, which is this guy, and 8 by 8, which is this guy. This guy here. Okay, then you add it up and you get the total surface area there. Now later in the problem, they're going to multiply that 192 by 2. Why is that? We already discussed it. Because there's the front of the shape and there's the back of the shape, and they're identical. So you just double it to get the total surface area for those 2 surfaces. All right, now what is this? This 6 by 16. All right, that looks like it's this left side here. All right, there's only one that kind of looks like that. But you'll see something weird in a sec. So anyway, they found the area of that, got 96, but then they doubled it. Look at that, doubled 96. Why? If you pay attention over here, this whole big side that we can't see, this left side, if we were to put together the 2 right sides here, these 2, kind of smush them over there or take them off and paste them onto that back part, they would make the identical shape to that back part, or that left side part. All right, so actually these 2 are the same if you were to add those 2 up. or put them together, it would make the same thing as this guy over here. So anyway, so you can find little shortcuts like that. But you just find that long one and then you double it to take care of those two as well. Okay, and the final one is that underneath, this underneath part right there. This is strange how they did this, but that underneath part, I guess, looks like underneath part right there, that they're doing an 8x6, and they're saying that there's 4 of those. How are there 4 of those? Well, I'm guessing that they say, okay, well, that one there, then this is identical to that, and then if you break this top piece into 2, then that's another 2. So you got 1, 2, and then 3, 4 on top. So that's how they did it. I wouldn't do it that way. I would do it, I would just find each of those individually and then add it up because I think that's less confusing, but it might work for you. Okay, then just add up all the area of those surfaces. Let's look at this next one here. Okay, I didn't clarify this in the volume lesson, but see how there's a height of the pyramid and there's a slant height? When it's volume, you're not going to deal with the slant height at all. You're not using that. You just use the height of the pyramid. But now that we're talking about surface area, it's the opposite. We're not going to deal with the slant height. We're going to ignore that, and we're just, the height of the pyramid. We're going to ignore the height of the pyramid, and we're just going to deal with the slant height because that's on the surface of the shape, and we're dealing with surface area. Okay, so let's see, take a sec to read over this and see if it makes sense to you. All right, we have, it looks like they did a square, so they're looking at this shape. Don't pay attention to these over here, but it looks like since this is a cube, we have the surfaces, this surface, right? This surface, the back that you can't really see, this side that you can't really see, and the bottom. Now, careful, because you're not going to include this the top of the cube here because it's covered up by this square pyramid, this square pyramid here. So we don't count that one. So we find the area of one of those faces around the cube, and then we get 64, and then look, it's multiplied by 5 because there are 5 identical surfaces. All right? Now, we're going to look at this triangle, which is the face of this pyramid here. All right? We find the area of that triangle using base times height. We get it. And then what are we going to multiply it by? How many identical triangles are there? There's 4, so we multiply that. Add them up, get the result. Try this one and see if you can do it yourself. I will show you the work and you can see if you went wrong at all. Okay? All right. Let's do this. Try yourself first. Remember, pause. Okay, here's my work. All right, I'm going to sketch it out quickly. That's a bad sketch. All right, pop, pop, pop. Recording. All this. All right, 2, 1, and 2 up here. Okay, now I got to figure out all my surfaces, so let's show them all. So I got the bottom, which you can't see. I got this, which you can't see. I have this, 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 this. And then I have the front and I have the back, which are identical. So let's get started. Let's start organizing each of these. Let's go with my bottom first. So that is a rectangle. So I'm going to find the area there, and I see that the bottom is dimension 3 times 2, which equals 6. Okay, I'm going to circle each of my individual areas. All right, and why don't I do this? Okay, so that's my first area. Why don't I cross off each one as I do it? Okay, let's go with this back part. So here and here, I need those dimensions. I see that has, this is 2, And then it has the same depth as the rest of the shape. The rest of the shapes of that and that are the same. So it's going to be a 2 by 2, which gives me 4. Circle it and cross off that arrow there. All right. Let's go with the top. The top here. What are the dimensions there? It looks like I have a dimension of 2, and it also has that same depth. So that's another 2 by 2. It's going to be 4, and I can cross off that. Okay, I got to find another area. It looks like I'm just kind of working my way around. So I'm going to do this little side shape here, which I have, let's see. I know that this length here is 2, but I need this height here, which it doesn't label for me. I do know that other so this one here, I know that other vertical lines here are there. So I know that it's two over here and 1 here. So that means that this would have to be 1 as well. So that's going to be 2 times 1. Go back to my, go back to my green now. All right, and get an area of 2 there. All right, so we can cross that one off as well. I'm going to now work on this shape here. Okay, I know that this depth here is 2, and I don't really know what this shape is. Let me get to another color. Let's go with that. It seems a little bit. So I'm looking to get this. All right, it's easy to get lost in all this. So I'm looking at this shape here, and I know that this was 2. I'm just looking for this. So, I know I got to look at all the lines that are in that same direction. So I see this bottom here is 3, this top here is 2, so that means that has to be 1. So I'm going to go 1 there. Now, let's go back to my green. Okay, area equals 2 for that one, and I'm done with that. And I have this other change color again. Let's see, what cool color can I choose? Orange is good. I'm looking at this face here, and that already has the dimensions of 1 by 2. So that's going to be area equals 2 by 1, which gives me another dimension of 2. Okay, so I'm going to cross that one off. Boom, done. What else do I have left? I've wrapped around all those kind of rectangles, and now I have to get this big face here. Okay, so I'm going to just break that off. Okay, I'm going to cut it up into 2 shapes. I have a height of 2, and that's 2. Looks like this is a 1 by 1. So this area here would be 2 times 2, which equals 4, circle. And this area here would be an area of 1 by 1, which gives me 1, circle. All right, now, problem here. Oh, let's not circle those. Psych. I'm going to first add those up and get 5. So I get the area of that. And then I have to times it by 2 because I have the front and the back. So times 2, give me 10. Circle that now. All right, only things I want to circle are the things I'm going to add in at the end. I covered this guy and I covered that back guy. So I've crossed off all my arrows. It's somewhat confusing now, but let's add them all up. So 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. That's that one, that, and then I need my 10 as well. So I'm going to add all those up. Okay, that's a 10 and another 10, and that gives me 30. Whew, 30, and since it's area, it's going to be Square units. So feet squared, circle it, my final circle. Let's see if I got it right. 30 feet squared. Okay, do you see how that it's not difficult, but it is tedious, and there's lots of places where you could go wrong. Good luck. I hope you have the perseverance and the focus to complete these problems and have success.